guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy Halloween. Today I have another movie for my October horror movie reviews, and this movie is the 2018 Hereditary. So the synopsis is, when the matriarch of the Graham family passes away, her daughter and grandchildren begin to unravel cryptic and increasingly terrifying secrets about their ancestry, trying to outrun the sinister fate they have inherited. And so this was directed by Ari Aster, and it's an A24 film. So I've seen Midsommar from him and The Strange Thing About the Johnsons. If you haven't seen that film, do not watch it. And rest in peace to the actor that was in that, Billy Mayo. Yeah, he was the main father in that. But anyway, so I've always heard about Hereditary and I wanted to give it a try. I actually started watching it maybe a couple years ago, but I didn't finish it. And so I finished it recently. I actually tried to watch it with my mom, but she fell asleep. So I'll start with my cons, then my pros, and then my overall rating. You know, I have a lot of pros, but overall, until I really read some things after watching this, I was confused by the story. And so I think initially, I thought this was about mental illnesses in the family and kind of like passing down mental illnesses, which I think, obviously that was part of the story, but the bigger story was the inheritance of this bigger issue with the family. And I kind of got that, when it first was shown in the film, but I guess by the end I was somewhat confused on what was going on. I guess I didn't realize that this was something that was passed down through generations, but that's the only cons I would say. And I mean, honestly, I know this is messed up. I thought some of it was silly. I just did. Once I got to the end, I was just laughing. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. I was just like, what the hell? Those were the only cons I had. It was confusing altogether. I didn't understand it. I got it a little bit, but I didn't get everything. So, and then the pros, I loved that opening shot. I think that's like one of the best opening shots I've ever seen in a film. It's so creative. It was just, and after reading about the film, that aspect of the film made sense, and the mother's job and what she was doing the entire movie made sense. But that opening shot, I loved it. The cinematography was nice, camera movement was nice. I really liked the lighting because a lot of the scenes were very dark, but you were still able to see the characters, their silhouettes, and even their faces. So I thought the lighting was very creative. Overall, I thought the acting was really, really, really good from everybody, especially Toni Collette and Millie Sharpeo and Alex Wolff. The dad was good too, but those three really stood out to me. Besides the more fictional aspect of the film, I think the topic of grief was explored really well, like grief and the characters, the complex relationships with the family members and the character that died or initially died, and just what people go through and blaming themselves and blaming others in the family. It was very interesting, and it was written well and it was acted well as well, and then just speaking about mental illness as well. So yeah, overall it's definitely a gory film. I'm not gonna lie, that one big scene I guess there's a lot of big scenes, but the scene early on that happened, I didn't expect it. I'm not gonna spoil, but I didn't expect that to happen to that character, and then I kind of felt like it was a little too much. I didn't really like that it happened to that character that way, and that we got to see it. I guess it just felt very gruesome for no reason, but it also made me think of Midsommar, and I'm like, similar things happen in Midsommar, so I'm not surprised. But sometimes I would rather, even though there were scenes where we didn't get to see the aftermath of something, we just kind of heard it, and I feel like those scenes are a little more powerful than actually seeing the gore and the bodies and things like that. So overall, it's definitely a slower paced film. Like I said, I watched it with my mom, and first of all, it was late, so my mom was already tired, but she was just like, it's too slow. it's boring. I don't know what's going on. It's definitely, like I said, my first film that I reviewed for this October horror review was The Witch, and so it's definitely, it's similar as far as pacing, but this film definitely has more horror aspects in it than The Witch, in my opinion. And so yeah, if you're one of those people who really like slasher films and jump scares and things like that, this is not that type of film at all. It makes you think. And so yeah, that's A24. I was telling my mom, I was like, Mom, A24 films are different. It's definitely a different type of film, but I don't know. I'm like looking up stuff about, the scariest films. What are the scariest films? And this was like number 2. I don't know. I guess it's based on surveys. I don't know. It didn't really scare me. It didn't scare me. That's why I don't get into horror films. I don't understand, like, what is it supposed to scare me? It's not real. So how is it scaring me? It's just creepy and it's gory and it's nasty to watch, but it didn't scare me. I don't know. Number 1 was Exorcist, so I don't know if that's gonna scare me either, because I just don't believe in any of this stuff. So ain't shit scaring me. Anyway, it was a decent film. So overall, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, I would give it 8 out of 10, more so for the visuals and the acting and the topic of grief and things like that. So if you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you thought of this film. What are some of the scariest films you've seen? And yes, so just chugging along, okay? Okay, thanks for watching, and look forward to my next review.